Era+Rebirth+System+Double strong sweet Pet+Inspiration+Black female lead with external charm heart. After reading books, Xia Lili developed a system and immediately transformed from a village broom star to a lucky carp. She was supposed to lie flat smoothly, but she didn't expect someone to look down on her and dig a pit for her. It was impossible for her to jump out of the pit. Adhering to the principle of, no matter what, just bury the pit, Xia Lili worked hard to fill the pit and sent away every diligent pit digger on an equal footing. Malicious Bai Lian wants to replace her in college. Send you to prison for rehabilitation. A scumbag who wants to change his mind. Let him die in society, not even dogs. Xia Lili wholeheartedly leads her whole family to live a good life, and in the era of literature, she walks the life of the protagonist well. The wise do not enter the river of love, building a beautiful country. Until someone came to apply for the job of filling a pit, Xia Lili admitted that she was attracted to his handsome face and efficient skills in digging and filling pits, and worked hand in hand to build a beautiful China. Chapter 1. Xia family Daya drinking mouse drug. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. In 1979, Dongxing Village, Yi County. Have you heard? The old Xia family's morning star has taken medicine. Just finished the college entrance examination. Why did you drink medicine? Damn it. I didn't go, but Chuanxi is lying at home. Who knows if I'm afraid I won't be able to dress up in the exam. It's a waste of playing games, and you still need to make a name for yourself. What kind of learning is it for a girl on a movie? It's a waste. Mrs. Xia is both angry and anxious. She just cursed Xia Lili a few times and really drank rat poison. Is that something that people drink? Ah, the plague-stricken dead girl, from the boss's family, come in quickly, the big girl has drunk rat poison. Xia Yud and Li Huaihua quickly ran into the room. My daughter had diarrhea and missed the college entrance examination. They comforted her for a while, but this time they did something foolish. How can the couple survive? Li Huaihua hugged her daughter and said, Carp and Carp, it's all my mother's fault. It's all my mother's fault. If you have any problems, my mother won't live anymore. Xia Yud knew that his wife felt guilty. If it weren't for her insistence on making some champion soup for Xia Lili, his daughter wouldn't have missed the exam because of diarrhea. Huaihua, don't cry. Xia Yud grabbed the Xia carp and carried it on his back, quickly running towards the clinic. Old Lady Xia stopped her son and said, go to some health clinic, slap her throat and spit it out. Old Lady Xia is getting so angry that she lost her virginity. It costs a lot of money to go to the health center. She mixed rat poison with water and used it back and forth for several months. The dead girl drank less, so it shouldn't be a big deal. Seeing Xia Yud still running outside, old lady Xia hurriedly went to pick her granddaughter's throat. Nausea. Before she could take action, Xia Lili vomited on old lady Xia's face. Madam Xia. The summer carp is confused. She started a clothing company from scratch. In the morning, she dreamed of the company going public, and in the afternoon, the doctor asked her to tidy up her mood and prepare for her death. Cancer, at most for a month. On the way home, I was hit by a car and went straight through my book. The original owner was also named Xia Lili. The title of the book is 70's 10,000 People's Fans, and the author skillfully portrays a 10,000 People's Fan female protagonist named Sweet. Every male who has seen sweetness will bow down under a pomegranate skirt, and the male dogs on the street will wag their tails wildly when they see her, making them the perfect goddess loved by everyone. Those who pursued her high wealth and handsomeness rushed against the wall for her, and in the end, she took all of them and led a successful career, enjoying a wonderful harem life during the day and at night. Wow, the timeline of this book ends in the late 1980s, and sweetness is like living a happy life in the 1980s that even Xia Lili couldn't imagine in the 21st century. Except for the first 20 chapters on fishing and fish farming, the remaining 30 chapters in this book are indescribable, depicting how terrible it is to die. The most amazing thing is that Miss Mayo Bishengwa still marks the beginning and end of each chapter with the words, "Dear, please give me a gift." Pooh, this book can also be put on shelves, it doesn't conform to the core values of China at all. As for the original owner, none of the female supporting role can be called as cannon fodder. The rise of the Sweet family is related to the Xia family. Sweet's father, Sweet Yuren, originally had the surname Xia and was adopted by the Xia family as the eldest. Later, he found his own family and adopted his ancestors to go to the provincial capital. Sweet family looks down on this externally nurtured Sweet friend Ren, both openly and secretly. When the old master of the Xia family fell ill, Sweetly persuaded his father to take care of the whole family. On the surface, it was a filial piety in a love of raising him for more than a decade, but in reality, it was both a pit master and a pit father. Tian Yuren took the old man to the county hospital, personally serving him, carrying feces and urine, under the banner of giving birth to kindness but not nurturing kindness. You have always been my own grandfather. It is not an exaggeration to show filial piety to a good grandson of 20.4. Old Master Xia Zuxing was deeply moved and directly told the story of the Xia family escaping to He province and burying a box of gold under a big willow tree on the mountain in Dongxing village. Xia Zuxing's original intention was to divide the gold equally among his 3 grandsons, and then let great-grandson Yuren help the Xia family, so that he could even close his eyes when he died. Before Xia Zuxing could finish discussing the matter of dividing the gold, Tian Yuren couldn't sit still. His goal was achieved and he simply pulled out the tube. "Grandpa Xia, I'm dead." Xia Lili and his 2 sons pooled money to rush to the county hospital, but the old man's body was not yet cold. "I have just mastered the timing." Xiao Cuiping sang red face for her husband and spent 800 yuan to save the old man. She stayed in a high-end single-room hospital room. Tian Yuren angrily cursed his wife, with a central idea that he was both loyal and filial. Sweetly crying by the bedside, as if it was not my grandfather whom I had never met before, but my own father who died. A family of 3, each performing their own duties, is it wonderful? Xia Lili and his 2 sons were moved to tears, and Tian Yuren, the great-grandson, was resolute in taking over the funeral. "Go back to the village, collect gold, attend the funeral, pat your butt and leave." Relying on gold to pay tribute to the Sweet family, Sweet friend Ren managed to do better. 1 year later, when I was originally taking the college entrance exam, I had diarrhea and died of diarrhea, which made me the laughing stock of the whole village. Xia Yud and his wife went crazy and died. Mr. Xia passed away without coming up in a breath. Mrs. Xia cried her eyes out, and her youngest son, Xia Yozhong, passed away unexpectedly while working outside. The whole family was completely separated. Xia Lili can see clearly, Sweet friend Ren has a black heart and liver, Sweet boosting the waves, a family of murderers. The death of the original owner may also be questionable. Since she has come, we must not let down the opportunity to live again. The day ahead is long, there is resentment and revenge. Xia Lili opened her eyes and tearfully said, "Mom, I'm hungry, I want to eat chicken." In order to nourish his daughter's health, Xia Yud wandered around the mountain for several days before bringing back a chicken, with only half left to eat. As for why go to the mountains to catch chickens, the family cannot let the losers eat the chickens. The chickens can lay eggs, and the money is precious. Li Huaihua almost cried again, and her daughter committed a serious crime and quickly went to get the remaining chicken. As soon as old lady Xia breathed a sigh of relief, she heard that the girl wanted to eat chicken. Does this death and Death Star make the old Xia family lose face and still have the face to eat chicken? Ignoring the vomit on washing her face, she crossed her waist and cursed, "The plague-stricken dead girl still wants to eat chicken. You can eat some vegetable cakes. The chicken is reserved for your grandfather, a white-eyed wolf." Xia Lili glanced at her breasts and said softly, "Then I won't eat chicken." I need to repeat. What? It's because she's not allowed to repeat her studies that this dead girl drinks rat poison. If she still wants to repeat her studies, wouldn't that mean the entire Xia family is going to beg for food? Don't dream, no matter what conditions we have, we won't have the money to repeat our studies. Xia Laotai stared at the bowl of stewed chicken in his daughter-in-law's hand, drooling as it tasted so delicious. Xia Lili was not in a hurry either. She stared at her and said slowly, "Milk, don't you say you have money and won't repeat it for me? Milk, you must have a small treasury. I won't eat chicken anymore. You let me repeat it, and I will be filial to you in the future." Old Lady Xia was startled. She was just scared by this dead girl drinking medicine. Talking nonsense, she guessed her little treasury. If the old man finds out, it won't be a big deal. The old lady broke out in a cold sweat and then smiled at Xia Lili, saying, "Granddaughter, where is Milk rich? Milk is talking nonsense. Don't talk nonsense." Quickly winking at my daughter-in-law again, "Quickly bring the chicken to my granddaughter. I don't have the eye to see her." Chapter 2. Grandpa is an old master. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Summer Carp and Carp ate a big bowl of chicken, waving their thumbs up in their hearts. The forest strolling chicken was so fragrant. Xia Lili finished eating the chicken and saw her Milk scrutinizing her back and forth. Xia Lili smiled and pouted at her. "Milk, don't lose your new shoe mat, it's quite expensive." "Don't worry, I step on my feet every day and can't throw it away." Just as she finished speaking, old Lady Xia's heart skipped a beat. What, is this dead girl hinting at herself? She really knew that her private money was sewn into the insole, so she must have stumbled upon it while hiding the money. Damn it, I can't offend her this time. This is half of her life, no, it's a lifetime of private money. Xia Lili is not the Holy Mother. Xia Laotai doesn't have much private money. 2 years ago, Tian Yuren went home to attend a funeral. After returning to the village, in order to show off his generosity, he gave Xia Laotai and Xia Laotai 20 yuan each. Old Lady Xia's money had not yet been covered in heat and was confiscated by her father. She ran to the female protagonist, Sweet, and begged for mercy. Sweet didn't want to deal with the rural old lady in front of her and sent her 10 yuan. This became the only private money in Mrs. Xia's life, sewn into her insoles for fear of being discovered. If keeping a small secret of 10 yuan can make her Milk stand on her side, it would be even better. Xia Lili looked at her with a worried expression, and gave her a confident little look of watching and doing. Old Lady Xia doesn't have a good feeling in her heart. Why is this dead girl different? Ghost spirit, ghost spirit. Xia Lili curled her small hand at her breasts. Mrs. Xia whispered in her ear. "Milk, my grandfather has given me a dream and told me many things. He even said that our family is a wealthy family and we have a lot of money." Old Lady Xia couldn't hold back any longer, thinking that her granddaughter had become sharp, smart, and that she was still a fool after being fooled for a long time. Returning to a wealthy family, Lao Xia's family is so poor that they have a lot of money. Daya, superstition is not acceptable, he said with some agreement. Li Huaihua and Xia Yud also came over to remind their daughter that this cannot be nonsense. Besides dreaming, how can we count? Xia Lili didn't expect the Xia family to believe it immediately. He just found an excuse to reveal the matter of money. As long as you plant a curious seed for the old Xia family, there may be a chance to sprout. The good deeds of the Tian Yuren family will sooner or later face legal sanctions. Xia Lili was about to take a nap when an old man walked into the room with a strong and imposing demeanor. Not tall, Mediterranean, with thick eyebrows and big eyes, and a big shovel in hand, it is Xia Limin, the grandfather of the original owner. Upon seeing her husband's return, old Lady Xia immediately shuddered and asked, "Old man, have you come back? Is everything going smoothly?" Xia's father was unhappy, his granddaughter had diarrhea during the college entrance examination, and the whole village poked his spine, leaving no room for his old face. He has lost his face and can't spend money anymore. The college entrance examination charter fee plus the meal fee is a total of 1 yuan and 20 cents. He has to get it back from the village middle school teachers. If they don't give it, his shovel is not vegetarian. I heard that Xia Lili had taken medicine before I even went home, so it was unlucky to play with him. I looked at the summer carp on the Qiang and the bowl filled with chicken. The bowl is empty and there is no oil or water left. Xia's father suddenly became angry and said, "Zhang Xiaoli, the leader of the dead, you are all dead. Give this Death Gate star chicken." Old Lady Xia trembled, and it wouldn't be a good thing for the dead old man to call her full name. Father Xia clenched the shovel in his hand, and his mood of not eating chicken could not be smoothed by the 1 and 20 cents he got back. Xia Yud quickly stepped forward and advised, "Dad, the carp is not in good health. Let her eat some chicken first, and tomorrow I will go up the mountain to catch the chicken." Xia's father widened his eyes and said, "Chicken is so easy to catch. Lie on the Qiang every day and don't do anything. The young ladies in the city don't even enjoy it as much as her. I don't expect her to become the top scorer in the exam. The exam is rare, and the whole village is laughing at our family. Where should I put my old face? Why don't we just get married and don't embarrass ourselves at home every day?" The Wang family who slaughtered pigs and the Li family outside the village both sent people to inquire about Xia Lili, knowing that she had not been able to take the college entrance exam and was even more diligent in inquiring. Xia Lili is considered a literate person, and both families agreed to get married and give 100 yuan. Dad Xia has already started thinking about how to spend this 100 yuan. Li Huaihua couldn't bear to listen, it was all her own fault, and she said, "Dad, you know that carp likes Ziyuan. Her daughter likes Feng Ziyuan, the son of the village accountant, so she can't be willing to marry someone else." Xia's father immediately jumped 3 feet high and mocked, "What kind of family is the Feng family? Their ancestors were all village accountants. When they go to college and become city dwellers, they can see her and dream of it." Xia Lili looked coldly at Xia's father, this selfish old man. Dad Xia looked at his granddaughter's gaze and said, "Why, are you still not convinced? You damn girl. I'm coming to teach Xia Lili a lesson." Xia's father speaks without hesitation at home, and his son, daughter.in.law, and 3 grandchildren of the Xia family have all been beaten by him. Xia Yud and his wife stopped in front of Xia Liu and got several shovel. Old Lady Xia was pushed far away. Xia Lili is really angry. For old disrespect, it's time to fight. Her mind twitched as she began acting. When Xia Yud saw his daughter trembling, he grabbed his father's shovel with both hands. Dad Xia stumbled and almost fell to eat dog poop. Li Huaihua became anxious when she saw her daughter smoking on the Qiang. Old Lady Xia rubbed her buttocks and her face changed drastically. "It's amazing, big girl has a horny wind," she said. When Old Lady Xia was young, she saw people who were smoking sheep's horn wind. First, they smoked, then frothed at the mouth, and finally became unconscious and useless. Dad Xia doesn't believe it. This dead girl can still have a convulsion, isn't she just pretending? He just got up and leaned towards the edge of the Qiang. Suddenly, Xia Lili reached out and punched Xia's father in the eye. Father Xia became angry and said, "Damn you, you rebellious playboy who dares to hit your master." Just kidding, she was a national Sanda champion in her past life. If it weren't for her weak physique, 30 cheap grandfathers wouldn't be her match. She got up from the Qiang and pointed at Xia Lao's father, cursing, "Xia Xiaogo, dare you hit my dear Jia? I hit you unfilial son." Dad Xia is confused. Xiaogo Xia was given a nickname by his father, and his family doesn't even know. How did this dead girl know? Looking back, Xia Lili had already flown down from the Qiang and directly pressed Xia Laodi to the ground, beating him while saying, Xia Xiaogo, I'll let you beat Jia. You little one won't die. Xia Laotai and Xia Yud were both shocked. The old man called Xia Xiaogo. The body and bones of the carp are so weak, how could it be pressed against him to fight? It's not a sheep's horn wind, it's really an old man who shows off his spirit. Mr. Xia loved Xia carp the most during his lifetime. Xia Lili beats the bones and meridians of the human body, ensuring that Xia Lao's pain lasts for several days and nights. Dad Xia is really scared. His granddaughter has never been so brave before, and this way of hitting her first and then her face is his dad. Dad, I was wrong. Before Xia's father could finish speaking, Xia Lili fainted first. When she pretended to wake up, 4 faces wrapped around her head. Xia Lili blinked her eyes and said casually, "Milk, I dreamt of my grandfather again just now," he said. Old Lady Xia has a bit of faith this time. Her granddaughter is a bit divine. Dad Xia took the lead and asked, "Granddaughter, what did your grandfather say to you?" Xia Lili frowned and said in confusion, "The master said, if anyone bullies me, take him away, and the same goes for Xia Xiaogo." Milk, who is Xia Xiaogo? Dad Xia. Xia family members. I dare not say, I dare not say. Chapter 3. Dear, it's been a long time waiting for you. You are listening at novel full.audio. Dad Xia wilted and didn't act like a demon anymore. As it got late, he struggled to move his butt back to the east room to sleep. That night, the 5 members of the old Xia family each had their own thoughts. In the western room, Xia Yud and his 3 companions lay on the con. Li Huaihua saw that her daughter was asleep before whispering to her husband, "Yud, I have decided that even if I go to sell blood, I will have my daughter repeat it. This era is not about donating blood for free. Donating blood not only gives money, but with good luck, it can also give back a lot of things." Upon hearing this, Xia Yud learned that his wife felt sorry for her daughter and that she had difficulty giving birth to carp. The doctor said she can't have children anymore. Xia's father always thinks that having no grandchildren is caused by carp, and says she is a bereaved star. But the carp is their husband and wife's treasure, and they all blame themselves for being a father's incompetence. Xia Yud firmly said to his wife, "Huaihua, don't worry, if you go to sell blood, I will also sell blood. I will definitely let my daughter go to school and university." Li Huaihua listened to her husband's statement before falling asleep with peace of mind. Xia Lili couldn't sleep either. The nickname Xia Xiaogo was mentioned in the original book, and I was just using it as a pretext. Especially when others travel through time, they all have a golden finger, and she should have it too, but silently reciting, system, space, golden finger, in her heart, nothing happens. Hearing the words of Xia Yud and his wife again, my heart was sore. Although she has achieved some success in later generations, she has been married by her parents since childhood, and has made a living under her uncles and aunts, without enjoying much care. The words of Mr. and Mrs. Xia Yud suddenly gave her a feeling of being cared for. Although it was for the original owner, if she changed her heart, she would work hard to make the days of the Xia family better and better. Dad Xia didn't sleep soundly even in the east room. In his dream, Grandpa Xia chased after him relentlessly, saying that he bullied Daya and wanted to take him away. Dad Xia ran and ran desperately, waking up several times. He really believed it this time, it was his father who hit him. Dad, he was really wrong. He changed. He doesn't want to leave so early. After this night, Xia Lili stood at the top of the Xia family's food chain. The next morning, the Xia family went out to work. Dad Xia rubbed his buttocks and twisted out like a duck, reminding his granddaughter to rest well. Only then did Xia Lili have time to observe the Xia family courtyard. The Xia family's yard is not large and is cleaned neatly. A simple small wooden warehouse was built in the corner near the west house, filled with firewood. A chicken stand was set up by the wall of the east house, and 5 chickens were raised, which were smooth and smooth. On the right side of the outer gate, there is also a small plot of land for planting cucumbers, eggplants, etc. The toilet is located on the far left side of the entrance. As soon as you enter the room, there is a small corridor, and on the right is the east room of Mr. Xia's wife. The Qiang is very large, and there is also a table on the ground. The whole family receives guests and eats in this room. On the left are two rooms, where Xia Yut and Xia Yozhong live together. The end of the corridor leads directly to the kitchen, which is very spacious. There is still rice sitting in the iron pot. It must be her mother who cares for her. She prepared lunch in advance and can eat it directly when she comes back. The congee bun eaten in the morning was digested early. The summer carp took out the cake from the pot and broke half of it into his mouth. A bit choked, Xia Lili patted her chest with her hand and felt a round hard object. Take it out and it looks like a small round card, the size of a nail cap. She remembered that this was given to the original owner by Mr. Xia. Xia Lili is the first grandson of the Xia family, and the old man loves her very much. Her father and her father thought that the small round card was a broken stone. After all, the old man likes to pick up pebbles and polish them by the river when he has nothing to do. But Xia Lili knew that this was not a pebble, it was jade. Although only the size of a nail cap, it is icy and delicate, with a hint of greenery, as if intertwined with mountains and rivers, making it a high-quality idol card. Xia Lili has also collected many jade jewelry, and she has seen better and larger quality plaques, but none of them make her feel radiant. She touched the idol card. Didi, welcome the host to activate the Zhifu Bao system. The system ID is 888. After hearing a beep, complete the binding. D. Welcome Master. Dear, I have been waiting for you for a long time. Xia Lili breathed a sigh of relief and knew that she was already wearing books, so how could she not have any cheats? It's just that this wealth creation treasure sounds familiar to everyone. Xia Lili thought while scrolling through the virtual screen. Mall, trading, and various functions are available, and the information bar is grayed out when opened. Didi, dear, don't you need me to introduce you? Other hosts are not very familiar with the rules of the system, asking why their hosts are so indifferent. QAQ, Xia Lili is buried in the familiar trading surface, which is not a heavenly book. Do we need to introduce it? However, there is one thing that is indeed very important. Tongzi, take out the beginner's gift pack and have a look. Dear, there is a large gift package for beginners. You need to complete the prerequisite task. Get some rewards, and then get them. The limited time is within 3 days. Host, cheer on. Equals __ smiley face. If you have a small gain, you need to take something to the trading platform to collect it. After success, if you deposit more than 100 yuan in the system, you can receive a beginner gift package. Tongzi, is the beginner gift package a part of KPI? Can the delivery rate reach 100%? The delivery rate of gift packages is 99%. After completing the KPI, I will strive for more benefits for the host. Q, __, P. Xia Lili previewed the contents of the beginner gift pack, which were pretty good and all she needed. Beauty pill *1, note. Keep skin moist and sunscreen anti-aging first grade stick, health potion *1, note. Improves weak constitution and feels great for the body, Rong Mian mud *1, note. Must be disguised for travel, meet again, your name, the weather is dry, and the face of the summer carp is red and painful. The original owner's body is also not very good, with poor nutrition and no strength to do anything. Beauty pills and health supplements are indeed needed. As for facial slime, it's just a troublemaker. No, it's a must-have for career development. However, Xia Lili has no intention of completing beginner tasks. This family is too poor, and the only jade card is bound to the system. If the delivery rate of the gift package does not reach 100%, it proves that there is still a system that has not completed the task. Xia Lili decided to use traditional human skills and try to go for free. Tong, I can't help you with your KPI, but you're not the only system that hasn't completed beginner tasks, are you? You won't be ridiculed by the group in the Tong class, will you? Jifu Bao is scared. The delivery rate for beginner gift packages is 99.999%. The only one who hasn't been delivered successfully has been mocked by the group for 5 years, and he hasn't started working yet. I don't know where he is in terms of autism. The plane is heating up, and the operation keys are starting to lag. It seems there is a chance. Xia Lili kindly said, Bao, the world's richest treasure is the leader of the Alipay industry. Bao, you will also be the top one in the entire industry. Bao, how can a beginner's task hinder your career progress? Give me 100 yuan to complete the beginner's task, and I will take you to the pinnacle of your life. Our goal is the vast sea of stars. The system is a bit confused, can it still be like this? But if she calls me Bao, she definitely won't deceive, cross off, the system. Transaction successful, host account balance of 100 yuan, newbie gift package delivery in progress, please check carefully. Xia Lili. White prostitution succeeded. System diary. Today, the host prevented me from being ridiculed and moved by the group. The host is really a good person. QAQ. Chapter 4. The Price of Love. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. The beginner's gift package has been successfully obtained. Xia Lili didn't hesitate to take out a beauty pill and take a little health potion. She immediately felt less pain in her face and her skin became hydrated. The Xia carp happily received the remaining health potion into the system. The amount of health-preserving medicine is sufficient, and the remaining medicine can be kept for future use. At noon, Li Huaihua returned from the field. Li, Mom came back late. Are you hungry? Let's have hot rice now. Li Huaihua ran home in a lively manner, afraid that Xia Lili would be hungry and thirsty alone at home. Although there are many children in this era and they are not wealthy, Mr. Xia has always been fond of carp since childhood, and this girl has never cooked a meal. More importantly, being a mother means not having the heart to see a girl suffer. In the future, a girl will have to work hard to get married, and if her daughter doesn't get married, she should enjoy happiness. Taking out 3 eggs from the basket, Li Huaihua laid a poached egg for her daughter, mixed the rest with water to steam an egg custard, and stir-fried cabbage to make the morning pancake, which was quite good. Li Huaihua is quick in her work and quickly prepares the food. The 3 members of the Xia family have also returned. Xia Lili wanted to help pick up a bowl and chopsticks, but was stopped by Xia Yud and asked her to go back to the house to rest. Xia Lili was so lazy that she went back to the house and waited to eat the ready-made food. Dad Xia looked at his granddaughter and the more he looked, the more he felt that she was different from before. How does it feel like it's edged with gold? For the first time in his life, Mr. Xia whispered to his wife, old companion, do you feel like our granddaughter is shining? Old lady Xia rolled her eyes inwardly. Her granddaughter looked white, and when the sun shone, she became even whiter. But today is indeed a day of white and pink, shining in the pink. She truly deserves to be Zhang Xiaoli's granddaughter, so handsome. Since Xia Lili beat up his father, old lady Xia has become more and more fond of her granddaughter. Ignoring Dad Xia, Madame Xia went straight to the east room for dinner. Dad Xia began to question his family status. At the dinner table, the popcorn cake was fragrant, and Li Huaihua also made 2 meters of congee. Xia Li took a sip of the egg custard, it's really thin. But with such a thin egg custard, the Xia family was also very satisfied with it. They are all caused by poverty. Dad Xia recalled last night's dream and had to ask his granddaughter and the old man to explain. He didn't bully baby Bigya. He wants to live a few more years. Dad Xia looked at the egg custard in the spoon and swallowed it again and again. He painfully put it into the bowl of Xia carp. Granddaughter, you've lost weight. Eat more quickly. Summer carp is not polite, it tastes very delicious. Dad Xia looked at his granddaughter silently and said, Granddaughter, I still love you very much. When you were a child, I used to wash your diaper for you, remember? Xia Lili. I don't remember. Dad Xia. Old lady Xia laughed inwardly. The old man had been washing his diaper all day and was too embarrassed to take it out. Moreover, it was at the dinner table. Can he still eat? Feeling that the topic was too heavy, Xia's father didn't give up and simply pulled all the egg soup into Xia's carp bowl. A loving expression on his face as a great-grandfather of China. Xia Lili is happy. Since her master loves her so much, she can't just talk about it. She looked at the egg custard in the bowl and then at Mr. Xia, making a completely moved expression. Sir, I want to go to the city and see. You will give me money, right? After all, you love me the most. Entering the city. Mr. Xia hasn't even been to the county town a few times himself, so it only costs 6 cents to take a bus back and forth to the city. He can buy half a pound of white sugar. Xia Lili is not about to enter the county town, she just wants her grandfather to give some blood. Xia Yud was delighted to hear that his daughter wanted to go to the city. Since the college entrance examination, my daughter has been reluctant to see anyone because of diarrhea. Looking back on going to the city to relax is a way to relax. He looked at his wife, and Li Huai, who was a flower in the heart, believed that although the financial power of the Xia family was in the hands of Mr. Xia, the couple still saved more than 10 yuan. It's okay if Xia doesn't give money to the carp, they do. As long as my daughter is happy and happy. Dad Xia has been engaged in a mental struggle, wavering between reluctant to give up money and having his granddaughter explain. Ultimately, being ruthless is still important for having a long life of 100 years. Give your granddaughter 1 cent, it's enough to take a car back and forth, and you can also buy candy to eat. He is excited in his heart. He is really a good grandfather, and his father must never come back to his dreams to find him. I took out my shirt pocket and found a total of 2.30 yuan. 1 and 2 yuan were taken back from the village high school teacher. Dad Xia is about to come up with a penny. Shua, 3 cents went to Xia Lili's hands. She grabbed the money and quickly put it in her pocket, excitedly saying, Grandpa, it's all for me, isn't it? You hurt me too much. Dad Xia silently thought, I don't. Xia Lili said passionately, Sir, yesterday the grandfather told me that if he wants to go to the county town, he will ask you for money, and you will definitely give it. So what the master said is true, I will definitely be filial to you well. After speaking, give Xia allowed a 5 body throw. Dad Xia's mouth twitched, this was a posture of bowing to the dead, he was still alive. Granddaughter, remember to tell the grandfather that he doesn't want to go find him so early. Dad Xia's heart is dripping with blood. 2 yuan and 3 cents, several months of food expenses, this price is too high. Old lady Xia secretly looked at the old man and felt a sense of satisfaction in her heart. She was tightly controlled by the old man since getting married, and it was rare to see him suffer from exhaustion. Eat 2 more bowls of porridge when happy. Xia Yud is also happy. No one in the Xia family has ever pulled money out of his father's hands. Her daughter is just amazing, no wonder his grandfather likes her. Xia Yud secretly made a wish, Sir, you must always protect the carp. Xia Lili distributed the egg soup from the bowl to old lady Xia and Li Huaihua, signaling them to eat quickly. Old lady Xia looked at the egg custard in the bowl, her eyes heating up. It was the first time she had eaten so much egg custard herself. These days, there are some good things in the family that are tightly tied to the children and men. Li Huaihua thought to herself that when her daughter grows up, she knows how to hurt others. Xia Yud is a bit jealous, why didn't her daughter give her egg custard? But more importantly, it is also a comfort for children to grow up. Xia is biting the big cake hard. This girl has no conscience, she's losing 2 or 3 cents in blood, and she won't even give her grandfather a bite of egg custard. Xia Lao Tai and Li Huaihua were sipping on the egg custard, enjoying it deliciously. Xia Lili picked up 2 chopsticks of cabbage for her grandfather and her father respectively, and then buried her head in cooking. There's no way, she's just so wet and wet. Her mother stir-fried the cabbage to perfection, adding some vinegar to make vinegar pickled cabbage tastes even better. Dad Xia pouted, his granddaughter still has a conscience. Xia Yud also smiled, and her daughter still had her own feelings in her heart. This meal at the Xia family is truly the most harmonious meal they have ever had. After dinner, Xia Lili ran to the front yard for a stroll. The summer carp, shining in the sunshine, felt a fever on her body, and she couldn't help but marvel at how good it was to be alive. After walking a few laps in the yard, someone walked over. It's Uncle Xia Yozhong's family. She smiled and waved. Xia Yozhong also saw Xia Lili and forced a smiling face to respond to her. Chapter 5. Vinegar Dried Cabbage. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Xia Yozhong returned from his mother.in-law's home with his wife and children, feeling a lot of grievances in his heart. Zhang Demai walked behind her husband, holding her son and daughter's hands and lowering her head all the way. The 2 little ones obediently followed their mother and didn't speak. Xia Lili saw that Uncle Air was still carrying a bundle and quickly took it over. Uncle Air, give me the things. Come in and take a break. Xia Lili looked at the exposed corner of the bundle, which contained fresh vegetables and some dried goods grown in the Xia family's yard, but the fresh vegetables had already wilted. These things were taken by Xia Yozhong and his wife to their mother.in-law's house. It's not good to go back empty-handed. But it was obvious that the Zhang family didn't like these and let the couple take them back. Carp, Uncle Air can take it. Come in quickly. Uncle Xia didn't let Xia Lili take anything. This girl has just recovered from a serious illness and needs to take good care of her body. Arriving at the inner room, the aroma of egg custard wafted straight into my nose. 6-year-old Xia Mengmeng and 5-year-old Xia Junjun desperately sucked in the smell of the house. The saliva of the Xia army flowed out to the old man. Yesterday my grandma's house slaughtered chicken, and Xia Junjun and sister didn't take a bite of the delicious chicken. They came back without eating today, and now they are very hungry. Zhang Demai didn't have the taste. When her husband returned to her mother's house, there was no good wine or food to entertain her. She worked hard all day and didn't even have a bite of meat soup to drink. Xia Yozhong's family of 4 were stuck inside the house, but no one spoke. The summer carp breaks the silence. Uncle and Auntie, there are still big pancakes in the pot, they are so delicious. You can have some more. Xia Lili naturally knew that Uncle Air and his wife didn't eat at all. In the book, although Aunt Air's family was a famous wealthy family in the neighboring village, they didn't even look up to the eldest daughter and his wife. When the eldest daughter, Demei, married the Xia family, the Zhang family was still poor. After the eldest daughter got married, the Zhang family became wealthy, and the Zhang family even felt that Zhang Demei was a disaster star. Upon hearing Xia Lili's words, Xia Junjun held his father's hand and whispered, "Dad, next meal." Xia Lili finally noticed that the Xia army's speech was not very clear. A normal 5-year-old boy is usually eloquent, but Xia Junjun's words have become increasingly unclear in novels over the past 2 years. A 5-year-old boy from another family is at the mischievous age of climbing trees to catch birds and going down the river to catch fish. Xia Junjun is often ridiculed by his friends for stuttering. He became very timid. The poor child had long been the head of the family. In the original book, after the Xia family had an accident, he and Xia Mengmeng secretly went up the mountain to pick vegetables to support their family, fell off the cliff, and then disappeared. Xia Lili likes these 2 sensible children. She takes Xia Junjun and Xia Mengmeng by the small hand and leads them to sit at the dinner table. Xia Mengmeng secretly looked at her sister. Sister's hands are so soft. It's the first time she's holding herself like this. Children aged 5 or 6 naturally enjoy playing behind older children's buttocks. But the original owner didn't really like the 2 children of Uncle Air's family. When I was younger, I despised them for being noisy. When I got older, the Xia army stuttered and drool often flowed out, which made the Xia carp feel dirty. In addition, other people in the village always laughed at the Xia army, and Xia Lili even despised it, and even disliked the thin and black Xia Mengmeng. The 2 little ones sat down obediently, and Xia Lili said, "Uncle and Aunt, please sit down too. We'll have dinner soon." After speaking, Xia Lili took Li Huaihua to the back kitchen. Xia Yozhong didn't dare to sit down and secretly looked at Xia's father's face. Dad Xia has a cold face. He didn't agree with his son going to the Zhang family, as they clearly didn't want to recognize the poor uncle and insisted on sticking to their cold buttocks, which was despicable. Zhang Demai felt even more uncomfortable. Her parents didn't like her and she had to look at her in-laws when she got home. Xia Yud asked the couple to sit down. Xia Yozhong sat down at the dinner table with his wife, seeing that Xia's father was silent. Xia Lili originally wanted to help in the kitchen, but Li Huaihua couldn't bear it. "Carp, let Mom come." Li Huaihua was just about to do something, stir-fry some stir-fried cabbage, and make an egg custard. Lao Zhang's family worshipped Gao and stepped down, so they definitely didn't eat. The 2 children also need to eat some egg custard to make up for it. Li Huaihua took out 2 eggs, while Xia Lili took out 2 more eggs. Li Huaihua thought this little greedy cat wanted to eat eggs again. "Mom, let's lay another poached egg for Dream Dream and the army," Xia Lili said. Ordinary girls are not so generous, especially 2 little guys running behind her always make her angry. "Really? If you give them food, you won't have any eggs to eat. The Xia family only has those 5 chickens, and the eggs they lay need to be sold to support their household expenses." These few eggs were brought by Xia Lili's grandmother's house. Xia Lili smiled and said, "Mom, I'm a sister. If you have something good, of course you have to think about your younger siblings. My daughter is really sensible." Li Huaihua beat 2 eggs into a poached egg and cut several cabbage and carrots. Xia Lili saw her mother cutting cabbage and decided to suggest her mother try vinegar pickled cabbage. "Mom, why don't you add some vinegar to the stir-fried cabbage and some dried chili peppers from home?" "What? Adding vinegar and stir-frying cabbage, how can we still add vinegar and chili? Can that be delicious?" Li Huaihua has never heard of it. "Is this a dish?" "Mom, give it a try. This is what the teacher told me. They said this dish is available in Shandong province and is also eaten in Beijing." When Li Huaihua heard that it was said by the teacher, it was definitely true. Even people in Beijing eat it this way, so their family also needs to try new ways of eating it. Anyway, almost every family has Chinese cabbage, and if it's not delicious, it's not a waste. Li Huaihua also added some extra lard to it. The Chinese cabbage is watery, and the aroma of vinegar and spicy seeds comes out instantly when added. Xia Yozhong and his wife were the first to smell the fragrance. The taste of vinegar and spicy mixed is very sour and refreshing, and the stomach is even hungry. Dad Xia wondered, "This taste is fragrant enough, but isn't it cooking? It's not like eating dumplings, why did you put vinegar on it?" Xia Lili served the vegetables, but it was a bit different from the stir-fried cabbage. The crispy and tender cabbage was slightly stir-fried into soup, mixed with vinegar and bright red chili peppers, which made people's appetite boil. Li Huaihua served congee, cakes and egg soup. "Second brother, why don't you try stir-fried cabbage like this to see if it tastes good?" Xia Yozhong was already extremely hungry, so when he heard his sister.in-law say this, he picked up a chopstick of cabbage. Sour, refreshing, and delicious. Zhang Demai saw her husband start using chopsticks and also tasted it. Indeed fragrant. Sister-in-law, why is this cabbage so fragrant when stir-fried? Xia Yozhong couldn't help but ask. Li Huaihua smiled and said, it was the carp that taught me. The people of Beijing also eat this dish. As long as you like it, it's good. Dad Xia heard that people in Beijing also eat this stir-fried cabbage. When he calmed down, he stretched his neck and looked at the plate of cabbage. Old Lady Xia slowed down her needlework and her little eyes drifted straight towards the cabbage. Xia Lili is happy, it seems that vinegar pickled cabbage is still very popular at home. Xia Lili greeted him and said, Grandpa, Grandma, Dad, try it quickly. Vinegar cabbage is quite delicious. Dad Xia didn't hesitate to listen to his granddaughter's words, so he picked up cabbage from the table and it was delicious. Xia Lili saw that Xia Junjun and Xia Mengmeng were just immersed in drinking congee and put some egg soup into their bowls. Dream, Army, eat egg custard. Normally, Xia Lili would not treat them so well, but Xia Junjun was young and his eyes were straight when he saw egg custard, so he pulled the egg custard in his mouth. He ate too fast, and his mouth leaked a lot of saliva and egg custard. Chapter 6. Xia Family's Smart and Bright Child. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. A lot of saliva flowed from the corners of the military's mouth. Zhang Demai's eyes turned red, her two children were not in good health, and the military soldiers were unable to speak clearly. She and her husband took their two children to the county hospital for treatment. Malnutrition can be treated with nutritional injections, but the doctor said that the military's stuttering needs to be seen in the city. I saved some money and used it up after going to the county hospital once. It's uncertain how much money it will cost to go to the city. They don't have much money, so they have to borrow from their parents. My younger sister's son Xiaoqing buried her for a long time and said, Pooh, it's good to go back to my mother's house to get skinned. But what should we do about the illness of the military? Zhang Demai felt uncomfortable in her heart and wiped the corners of her mouth for the military. Xia Li first wiped the corners of Xia Jun's mouth with a handkerchief. Zhang Demai was a bit surprised. Her niece's handkerchief is so precious, with blue flowers embroidered on it. I usually don't easily take it out of my arms, but today I used it to wipe the corners of my mouth for the military. Xia Junjun never dreamed that he could receive such treatment, with his little hand resting next to his chin while eating. Xia Mengmeng was extremely envious as she watched Li Li wipe her younger brother's mouth. My sister hasn't wiped her face yet. Xia Mengmeng raised her small face, with a bit of egg custard residue on the corner of her mouth. Xia Lili saw it and also wiped Xia Mengmeng's face. Zhang Demai hurriedly said, Carp, be careful not to dirty your handkerchief. Let me wipe it. Xia Lili replied, a handkerchief is used to wipe things. After wiping your face, it will look beautiful. Xia Mengmeng's face turned red, and her sister said she looked beautiful after wiping her face. So, is she also beautiful? Xia Mengmeng was pitch black, and the children in the village gave her the nickname, Black Monkey. No one has ever said she's beautiful. Zhang Demai couldn't believe the scene before her. Apart from Xia's father, Xia Lili was also difficult to deal with in the old Xia family. She dared not offend anyone. Unfortunately, the two children she gave birth to were one sick and the other thin and black, not as good-looking as Xia Lili. Xia Lili looked at her second aunt's face and roughly understood that the original owner had a big temper and was not easy to provoke. Even a bit tiger-like, otherwise I wouldn't have drunk rat poison right away. Of course, she will live a lifetime and make some changes for the original owner. Let's start with the two little ones. Looking at Aunt Air's cautious expression, Xia Lili said, Aunt Air, what did the doctor say when you and Uncle Air took the army to the county hospital? Zhang Demai and her husband went to the county, but when they returned, Xia's father didn't ask. If you don't cry, it's not a big deal. As long as you don't live or achieve anything, that's okay. As for the rest, my family is poor and unable to afford it. Xia Lili understands that if poor people don't mention difficulties, they will consider them non-existent. Xia Yud and Li Huaihua privately asked about the situation of the two children. Xia Yozhong just said it's nothing, and if he asks again, he won't be able to answer. No one expected Xia Lili to make this matter public. The atmosphere of the Xia family is somewhat oppressive. Zhang Demai dared not speak, tightly gripping the patched cuffs. Xia Yozhong looked at his niece's concerned gaze and said with a bitter smile, "The doctor said it's because there's something wrong with his tongue." Xia Yozhong didn't mention the matter of going to the city. He couldn't defeat the hero with just a penny. Although he was anxious, there was nothing he could do without money. Xia Lili asked tentatively, "Did the doctor say that the tongue frenulum of the army is too short?" Xia Lili had a guess in her heart that the military might have tongue problems, and in future generations, only a minor surgery would be needed. Xia Yozhong didn't expect Xia Lili to say the same thing as the doctor. He quickly said, "That's what the doctor said. He even said that the city might be able to cure it." Now Xia Lili is certain in his heart that it is a problem with the tongue frenulum. She looked at Uncle Air and said with a smile, "Uncle Air and Aunt Air, don't worry, it's not a big problem." One of Xia Lili's clients also had a tie-up issue. Her aunt, who was a doctor, used a surgical knife to easily scratch and it quickly healed. She told the story to the Xia family, but the protagonist in the story became a distant relative of Xia Lili's high school teacher. "Lili, is it really so easy to treat?" "Uncle Air, really, don't worry." Xia Yozhong was excited. If a small knife could cure him, then the two of them would definitely be able to raise the cost of treating the disease. Zhang Demai's eyes turned red, and her son's illness finally became apparent. The Xia army didn't care about the grilled rice and stared at the Xia carp with big eyes. His illness can be cured, and in the future, he can speak well and not be ridiculed by his friends. Sister is really kind. The old couple of the Xia family immediately became clear-hearted. Poverty is poverty, but no one wants their children to have any illnesses. Father Xia also feels sorry for his grandson. Xiao Junjun is the only boy in the family and will also start a family in the future. This disease is not bottomless pit. If it can be easily cured, then tighten your belt and live a few more years of hardship. Li Huaihua breathed a sigh of relief as she watched the atmosphere at home improve. Xia Yud's mouth curled up again. His girl is really knowledgeable and knows everything about tying ties. She is definitely a student. I am more determined in my heart to let Xia Lili repeat the idea. Xia Lili was only focused on thinking about the illness of the army, and as soon as he regained his senses, he could feel the hot look in the eyes of the young Xia family. 3 parts worship, 4 parts trust, and 3 parts truly deserve to be the offspring of the old Xia family, which is intelligent confidence. This kind of confident gaze mainly comes from her father and her breasts. Xia Lili felt embarrassed to be stared at. Xia Junjun and Xia Mengmeng also finished their meal and slowly moved to Xia Lili's side. Xia Lili lowered her head and saw the 2 little ones gently pulling at the corner of her clothes. Xia Lili grabbed the hands of the 2 little guys and said to Xia Lao, "Grandpa, let's go out and play. Come back to dinner tonight." Dad Xia nodded with a smile and a kind gaze. Don't forget to let his granddaughter have a great time. With the consent of Mr. Xia, the 3 of them quickly ran out of the house. A few dozen meters ahead of the village exit is the Great Black Mountain. The children in the village always go up the mountain to play when they have nothing to do. The mountains of Heishan are rich in resources, and whenever the season comes, mushrooms, fungus, wild vegetables, and wild fruits are readily available. In the past, Xia Lili didn't often go up the mountain. She didn't like her disheveled face and was afraid that Feng Ziyuan wouldn't look up to her. Xia Junjun and Xia Mengmeng often follow the adults at home to pick wild vegetables and are very familiar with the mountains. Xia Mengmeng leads the way ahead. The Xia army is guarding the Xia carp. After walking a few meters, there seems to be some noise in the nearby forest. Whoosh! A stone hit Xia Mengmeng. Xia Lili quickly asked, Mengmeng, are you okay? Xia Mengmeng shook her head. Seeing the grass moving next to it, Xia Lili was quick and kicked onto the grass. Don't say, this grass is really hard. Ouch! The tall boy crawled out of the grass, staring at the summer carp. He followed 3 children behind him, all of whom were 8 or 9 years old. Xia Lili finally recognized that this child is Du Zidong from the old Du family, who often bullies Xia Mengmeng and his siblings without any worries. Do you dare to kick me? Du Zidong shook the stone in his hand and smashed it onto Xia Lili's body. Other children also follow suit. A little bastard who deserves to be beaten. Today, one by one, if I don't beat up your buttocks, I won't be named Xia. After speaking, Xia Lili rushed towards the nearest Du Zidong and kicked him to the ground. Taking advantage of Du Zidong's falling to the ground, he kicked and beat several little rascals together and fell to the ground. Xia Lili looked at the other 3 children and said, if anyone dares to bully my younger siblings with stomach pain in the future, don't blame me for being impolite. After speaking, he snapped off the thick branch he picked up casually. Also, remember that the stomachache buttocks were dropped by oneself. The Xia carp pretended to fight again, and those boys were scared to death. They quickly nodded and walked away smoothly. Du Zidong covered his stomach with one hand and his buttocks with the other, grinning and shouting at Xia Lili, if you dare to hit me, I can't spare you. Xia Lili smiled and said, I even beat you up. Dream and Jun, come and beat him up. Xia Mengmeng and Xia Jun were often bullied by Du Zidong. This time, the 2 clenched their fists tightly, but still dared not take action. Du Zidong smiled provocatively at the Xia army. Xia Lili looked into Xia Jun's eyes and said to him, Jun, the more you fear him, the more he bullies you. If someone bullies you again in the future, you'll kick his butt and my sister will support you. Xia Jun seemed to have received encouragement, mustered up the courage to use his hands and feet, and finally even spoke up. Xia Mengmeng saw her younger brother take action and spat at Du Zidong while fighting. Du Zidong was beaten and screamed incessantly, attracting several crows. Shio. Chapter 7. Random Picking of Ginseng. You are listening at novel full.audio. Crow droppings fell precisely into Du Zidong's mouth. Ouch! Du Zidong felt that he was really unlucky, with a painful buttocks and feces in his mouth. The little tyrant in this village already has crystal clear tears in his eyes. It's almost time, Xia Lili asked Du Zidong, do you dare to bully anyone? I dare not. My buttocks hurt too much. Xia Lili asked the 2 little ones, Dream, Jun, are you still afraid of him? The 2 little guys spoke in unison and said, don't be afraid, bully us again and beat him up. You are truly a child to teach. Du Zidong was rolling his butt and urine. The 3 siblings of Xia Lili hummed a tune and walked towards the mountains. Her purpose for going up the mountain this time is to visit the willow tree where gold is buried. Although the gold has been taken by the Tian Yuan family, going to see may yield more clues. According to the clues in the original work, walk for another half hour and you should be there. Xia Lili used to run business frequently in his previous life, and it was his first time traveling in the mountains. It was really hard to walk in the mountains. Fortunately, chatting with 2 children is not lonely. If it weren't for drinking the nutrient solution, she wouldn't have been able to hold on. Walking, something swayed in front of me. Xia Lili saw clearly that it was a wild chicken. The Xia army also saw clearly that wild chickens can eat meat if caught. Jia, wild chicken, catch it. The Xia army chased after the wild chicken, and Xia Lili and Xia Mengmeng followed suit. Chasing after it, the wild chicken jumped into the tree and remained motionless. The summer carp circled behind the tree, ready to catch the chicken. There is something furry behind the tree. Xia Mengmeng exclaimed, "Sister, it's a dog, a big dog." Xia Li's hair stands up, which is a dog. This is a wolf, sister. But this little wolf looks pretty good. The wolf under the tree is shrinking into a ball, like a gray sticky rice ball. It looked at Xia Lili without malice, with wet wolf eyes looking at her and lifting its paws. There is a noticeable wound on the wolf's paw that is oozing blood. Xia Li looked at the little wolf again. There is a small tuft of white dull hair on the gray wolf's head. The summer carp didn't move, but the little wolf urgently whimpered, which was quite cute. Saving a wolf's life is better than building a level 7 floating slaughterhouse. Xia Lili carefully examined the wolf's paw and found that the wound was deep, probably caused by fighting with a small animal. Xia Mengmeng tugged at Xia Lili's sleeve and said, "Sister, the little dog is injured. Let's help it." Xia Lili has this intention, but she still wants to tell her younger brother and sister. "Mengmeng, Junjun, this is a little wolf, not a little dog." The two children were even more excited when they knew it was a little wolf. Xia Junjun's face turned red. It was a wolf. He had seen a wolf before. Xia Mengmeng looked at the wolf, which was much more adorable than the big gray wolf in the story. This little wolf was furry and very cute. Seeing two children not afraid, Xia Lili asked them to find some hemostatic herbs. People who have worked in the mountains know some healing herbs, and although summer carp have less time going up the mountain, they also know hemostatic herbs. The three of them searched separately, and while there was no one around, she entered the space and took out the nutritional potion to sprinkle on the hemostatic herb she found. Nutritional potions have the effect of restoring wounds and can help them heal faster. Xia Mengmeng and Xia Junjun ran back excitedly. "Sister, I found it." Xia Junjun's small round face turned red, and Xia Mengmeng handed her the hemostatic herb she had found in her hand. Xia Carp took the hemostatic herb, ground it on a stone, applied it to the wolf's paw, and wrapped it with a handkerchief. Xia Lili looked at the little white hair on the wolf's head and blurted out, "Little white, don't get hurt again next time." The gray ball on the ground heard the summer carp call it, "Little white," its eyes lit up, and it extended its tongue to lick the summer carp's face. The licked face was drooling, and Xia Lili now really doubted whether it was a dog. It was too enthusiastic, right? Xia Junjun had more courage and touched the wolf's head with his hands. Excitedly, he said, "Jia Jia, it likes Xiao Bai's name. Xiao Bai, be good." Xia Mengmeng also leaned over to touch the wolf's head. Xiao Bai enjoyed it very much, and the wolf's head and the two little guys shook their hands left and right. The summer carp couldn't help but itch and joined the fur-touching army. Xia Lili tried her best to "Rua," and then "Rua" again. "Xiao Bai, you must remember your sister. You won't have such good luck next time you get injured. Let's go quickly." The health potion accelerated wound healing, and the little white lightly stepped on its front paw and found that it could slowly run. The wolf was inexplicably shocked, and this person was even more powerful than its owner. Although it is a juvenile, standing up already gives it a majestic feeling. Little White takes 3 turns in one step and walks deep into the forest. What an emotional wolf, Xia Lili thought to herself. Reluctantly parting with the Little White, the Xia Carp continued to walk towards the direction where the big willow tree was located. Xiao Bai took a few steps and saw that Xia Lili had not caught up. He ran over to pick up Xia Lili's clothes with a whimper. Xia Junjun and Xia Mengmeng haven't had enough fun with Xiao Bai yet. Their 2 pairs of starry eyes looked at Xia Lili, and their feelings of wanting to follow Xiao Bai were written on their faces. Xia Lili also realized that Xiao Bai seemed to be taking her somewhere. Xiao Bai held the corner of Xia Lili's clothes, took a small step behind the tree, picked up the frightened wild chicken, and presented it to Xia Lili like a treasure. Spit out your tongue, with a look of, I'm giving you a gift, surprise no. Xia Lili felt that this wolf was simply smarter than a human, knowing that the spring would repay each other. Xiao Bai didn't stop walking, but then led Xia Li and the three of them to walk for a while before standing still under a big tree. Xia Mengmeng and Xia Junjun thought it was tired and hugged it, starting to fluff. Xia Lili knew it wasn't that simple. She walked up to Little White and carefully looked under the tree. Many flat and round red fruits grew on the umbrella-shaped corolla of a plant. This is ginseng. Xia Lili squatted down and carefully looked at it. That's right, this season is the season for ginseng to bear fruit. Ginseng seeds are very nutritious and not common. Unable to resist the excitement, Xia Lili gave Xiao Bai a thumbs up and said, Xiao Bai, you're really amazing. Upon hearing the praise, the Little White proudly raised his head. What's there to this? It can still find many of these things. Xia Mengmeng saw the red fruit and asked Xia Lili, Sister, can the fruit be eaten? The Xia army stopped being a wolf and came over to see the red fruit. Xia Lili replied, I can eat it, but it's best to stew it in soup because it's nutritious. Dream, do you have your little bag with you? Xia Mengmeng took out a small bag sewn with old cloth, and Xia Junjun helped her put away the small stones and tree forks inside the bag, which were all their toys. The Xia carp carefully cleaned the ginseng with branches and hands, and put the whole one in a cloth bag. Just now, I was just walking forward and didn't see clearly. When I got up and looked closely, I realized that this tree was the big willow tree that buried gold. The summer carp became even more excited and circled around the tree. Xiao Bai, go pick her up. There are no red fruits here. Follow me, I know other places. The summer carp touched its head, signaling that it would calm down. A person and a wolf surrounded the tree and indeed discovered a collapsed hole. Summer carp stepped on the soil in the hole. Not right. There is still something inside. Chapter 8. The Secret of Wooden Boxes. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Xia Lili found a wooden stick and started digging the soil. Xiao Bai joined in, digging the soil with one claw at lightning speed. There was a sharp corner exposed in the soil, and when Xia Li took it out, it looked like a small wooden box. There are 2 palm-sized pieces, 1 centimeter high, and the bottom of the wooden box has the words, 20 pieces from the Xia family. Originally, there were 20 gold bars here, the wooden box was not valuable, and the target was large. The Tian Yuren family did not take them away. She cannot rashly take the wooden box back, after all, the gold bar is no longer there. She said it was a dream from the prince, and the Xia family may not believe it, so they must wait for the opportunity. Xia Lili thought this way and prepared to put the wooden box back into the hole and bury it first. Xiao Bai whimpered twice, picked up the wooden box and ran away. Xia Lili followed behind, and the wooden box was thrown and beaten by Xiao Bai. Xiao Bai, you can't fall. Xia Mengmeng reached out her small hand to stop it, but was stopped by Xia Lili. Xiao Bai is so understanding of human nature, so there should be something to tell her. Seeing a small corner knocked out of the box, Xiao Bai stopped wrestling. Xia Li picked it up and looked at it. The box had a sandwich. Is this a rosewood box? The ancestors of the Xia family fled to the wilderness. In order to not attract attention, the box containing gold bars was sealed with a layer of ordinary wooden boards outside. Xia Lili carefully looked inside the box, revealing tangled flowers embedded in pink. In later generations, a Qing palace jewelry box similar to this box was auctioned for 10 million yuan. This is much more valuable than 20 gold bars, and Tian Yuren knows if he's going to vomit blood. Xia Junjun leaned over to look at the box and asked, Sister Jia, is this a forest? Xia Lili pointed to the words at the bottom of the wooden box to show them, then grabbed her younger brother and sister with a serious expression and said, Junjun, Mengmeng, our grandfather told me through a dream that our belongings have been stolen. Xia Junjun clenched his fists. Although he was young, he probably understood what was going on. Someone stole something from their house, bad guy. Xia Mengmeng picked up the box and looked at it repeatedly. She was surprised and said, "Sister, there's a gap here." A gap appeared at the bottom of the box, and after careful confirmation, Xia Lili took out the thin pressed paper from the gap. There are only 11 words on the paper. Burying gold here is not a death, it will not be passed down to Xia Zuxing. This is physical evidence. Don't be afraid that the Xia family doesn't believe it now, even sweet friend Ren can't think of not recognizing it. The secret must be known by her master in order to have an impact. Xia Lili put the note in the box and turned to Dream and the army, saying, "The master said that our enemy is not an ordinary person. For now, only the three of us know about this matter. When our grandfather dreams again, we will know who the enemy is." The two children are young, and I really thought it was Mr. Xia's dream, swearing to find out the bad guy who stole things. Burying the box, Xiao Bai went to pick up the summer carp again. The nearby trees are very dense, and Xiao Bai ran out soon and stood still by the trees. Xia Mengmeng and Xia Junjun knew that it must have discovered the red fruit again, and the two of them jumped over to help Xiao Bai dig ginseng. Another ginseng tree was taken into the bag. Xiao Bai rushed to the next location with the Xia carp in a hurry. 3 people and 1 wolf repeatedly search for ginseng, dig ginseng, find ginseng, and dig ginseng. When the 6th ginseng tree was dug up, the summer carp was almost exhausted. Xiao Bai's front paws hit the ground. "Come on, there are also red fruits." People are more infuriating than wolves, Xia Lili thought to herself. Even a little white with an injured leg can run faster than her. But no matter how much ginseng there is in the mountains, it cannot be completely dug out. Sustainable development is always necessary. It's best to jot down the locations of these ginseng, Xia Lili thought, and the sound of the system also echoed in her mind. "Master, do you need to activate the marking function? It can locate ginseng and only costs 30 points. The system thinks it's really considerate, just in time to solve the host's urgent need." The excited little flame of Xia Lili extinguished with a swoop. What? She still needs to deduct points. That's not points, that's her money. No, that's her life. Xia Li decided to bargain. "Tong, I want to give this positioning a try." Trial. Before the system could explain that there was no trial function, Xia Lili took the lead and said, "How can I know if this function is good or not without a trial? I am not without money, I want to objectively evaluate the advantages and disadvantages of this feature, and summarize the feasibility analysis report of the trial function from this. Think about it, in the future, at the year.end gathering, you will read this report. If you step on all the check.in treasure, lottery treasure, and warehouse treasure, you will surely make a big splash, and the main brain will be optimistic about you. Be enlightened." Jifu Bao often feels inferior due to its lack of distinctive features, thinking that it is completely out of the crowd. But now it's different, it works again. Try it out once, okay? Although I tried it at least 3 times in that world, it's still possible, Xia Lili replied calmly. Xia Lili's heart was filled with joy, and once again, she successfully engaged in prostitution for free omega. The system is a bit ashamed, it will make every effort to make the host try every paid feature 3 times. As the positioning was activated, Xia Lili and Xiao Bai positioned 13 ginseng and 5 Ganoderma lucidum. Of course, Xia Lili also included the largest Ganoderma lucidum in his bag. When passing by the mountain slope, I picked a lot of Astragalus membranaceus, and at this time, Astragalus membranaceus was also valuable. The summer carp really regretted not bringing a wicker basket. Fortunately, Xia Mengmeng and Xia Junjun collected a lot of rope grass, which could be used as ropes. They moved the dug astragalus to the edge of the stream to wash it clean, tied it with grass and tied it to a thick wooden stick. After finishing these tasks, Xia Carp lay on the ground, having never done so much work in his previous life. My physical strength is really overdrawn. Jie, drink water. Xia Mengmeng found a thick leaf and filled it with water. She first gave it to Xia Lili to drink. Xia Lili was not polite either. After drinking a sip of water, she secretly put the health potion in for Xia Lili and the Xia army to drink. Xiao Bai licked up a lot of potion, basked in the sun on the ground for a while, and ran towards the river. Xiao Bai, don't, Xia Junjun shouted anxiously. Xia Mengmeng told him, Junjun, what do you see in Xiao Bai's mouth? Fish. Xia Junjun's eyes widened wide. Xiao Bai placed the fish at the feet of Xia Li, and the wolf's head kept rubbing against her legs. Got it, Xia Li muttered and rubbed its head. True wolf. Dog. Oh, asterisk, 12,502 happy. It's getting late. It's going to be dark in the mountains after 4 o'clock, and there will be more fierce beasts. Xia Lili dare not stay for a long time and patted Xiao Bai's head, saying, Xiao Bai, we're going home now, you should go home too, don't get hurt again. I'll come see you again in the future. Xiao Bai understood the meaning of Xia Lili and held on to the hem of Xia Lili's clothes, feeling dejected. Xia Junjun cried out, Sister Jia, Xiao Bai doesn't want to eat congee. It's a fat family. Xia Mengmeng's eyes turned red, and she looked pitifully at Xia Lili. Xia Lili comforted them and said, Xiao Bai also has his own home, as well as his own father and mother. If he doesn't go home, his father will be anxious, understand? The two little ones nodded unwillingly. Xiao Bai seemed to remember something, licked the hand of Xia Lili, and turned to run back into the deep mountains. Seeing Xiao Bai running away, Xia Lili quickly descended the mountain with her younger siblings and a pile of spoils of war. Dad Xia was preparing chicken food in the warehouse when his second son came to call him, saying that 3 children had returned from the mountain and asked him to go and take a look. Dad Xia kept muttering, come back and come back, can you still work for him? Reluctantly entering the house, he saw something on the ground. Good guy, his granddaughter didn't go up the mountain, did she go to rob? Chapter 9. Unexpected Joy. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Dad Xia looked at all the good things on the ground and was so scared that he thought Xia Lili and his 2 siblings had gone up the mountain to rob. Later, he realized that his granddaughter had gone up to Jinshan. Li Huaihua finished placing the fat and large carp and returned to the east room before carefully examining what was on the ground. Li Huaihua couldn't help but ask, you brought all these things back, carp? Of course it was brought back by us. The army in Dream may have done it, Xia Lili said as she sorted things out. Xia Junjun and Xia Mengmeng were a bit embarrassed, but they helped to organize faster. Xia Yud looked at the wild chicken that had fainted and just woken up. He couldn't help but excitedly grabbed it and looked at it again and again. The wild chicken had just woken up and was scared to death. This time, it was really scared to death. Xia Yud gave Xia Lili a thumbs up and said, girl, you're really amazing. You only caught a wild chicken when you went up the mountain once. This chicken is very fat. Uncle and Aunt Xia were hooked on the ground, as if in a dream. Oh my goodness, these adults who often go up the mountain are not as good as these little dolls. The Xia family arrived together, and Xia Lili gave Xia Junjun and Xia Mengmeng a glance. The 2 little guys ran out quickly, one closing the door and the other watching. Xia Lili cleared her throat and said, Sir, we also brought some medicinal herbs back this time. Dad Xia wants to say that he saw it. Astragalus is a good thing, but it's not needed at home either. However, it's better than not, Xia said, granddaughter, cow. Xia Lili said, that's not it. After finishing speaking, she took out the small cloth bag, neatly arranged 6 ginseng trees on the ground, and then took out the lingji. Dad Xia saw ginseng, his eyes widened like copper bells, and he suddenly lay on the ground, touching and smelling it. Old Lady Xia had never seen ginseng before and was thinking that this carrot looked quite strange when she heard Xia Yud say, "Carp, why did you bring back these few carrots? They are so thin and not delicious. I want to say where the whole big mushroom is, can it be eaten?" Before Xia Lili could answer, Xia's father began to output, "Xianyanbao, do you know this is ginseng? It's worth my nose's money. Granddaughter, you're really a lucky star in our old Xia family." Xia's father felt heartbroken. When he was a child, he had seen someone dig up a small ginseng tree, but he had never seen such a big ginseng tree before. It had been at least 50 years or more. As for his foolish sons and wives, they don't even know what ginseng is. It's really unfortunate for their family. It seems that the heavy responsibility of revitalizing the old Xia family can only fall on him and his granddaughter. Xia Lili felt amused as she looked at Xia's father's expression of deep pain. In some ways, her father is still quite an interesting old man. "Granddaughter, how are you going to divide these ginseng? Dad Xia is worried that the other members of the Xia family often go up the mountain and haven't seen ginseng before." Her granddaughter picked ginseng as soon as she went up the mountain, so even if it all belonged to her granddaughter, it was reasonable. Dad Xia didn't notice that the emotional balance was completely tilted onto Xia Lili's head. Uncle Xia saw that this thing was so valuable and it was picked up by his niece, so he didn't want it. "Dad, if it's picked up by the carp, just give it to her," he said. Aunt Xia felt uncomfortable in her heart. Her child also helped and didn't get anything, but she was afraid of her husband and father-in-law and didn't dare to speak up. Xia Lili didn't want to eat it alone. She divided the ginseng and gave the two largest ginseng to Xia's father and mother. She said, "Grandpa and Grandma, this is something we, the younger generation, are filial to you. Our family's life will definitely be better in the future." Xia's father trembled as he took the ginseng, unable to close his mouth with joy. Xia Lili handed over the only lingji to old lady Xia and said, "Milk, we have a good wife and less misfortune. You are our greatest treasure, and I'll leave the only lingji to you for safekeeping." Ouch! Ouch! Good, 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 old lady Xia was deeply moved. She still needs to be her granddaughter. To be honest, if it weren't for her Lu Xiaoli taking care of the family, the Xia family would have dispersed long ago. Only her granddaughter understood her, sobbing. There were only 4 ginseng left, and Xia Lili picked 2 larger ones and handed them to Xia Auntie. Auntie and uncle, my parents always say that brothers are united, and their benefits cut off gold. If there is something good, they must share it. I used to be not very sensible, but in the future, as long as we unite, life will definitely get better and better. Aunt Xia's face lit up, and she didn't expect Xia Lili to share ginseng with them. She said awkwardly, "Lili, if a family doesn't talk about 2 families, Aunt Xia will keep it in mind." Xia Yozhong chuckled foolishly. He really didn't hurt his niece in vain, thinking of him for good things. After dividing the most important things, no one would want Huangqi anymore. Astragalus membranaceus belongs exclusively to the summer carp. After collecting all the spoils of war, Li Huaihua went to the kitchen to cook. It had been a long time since she had eaten meat, and such a big carp was enough for her whole family to enjoy. Aunt Xia also came to help after tidying up her things and quickly finished tidying up the carp. A round black thing fell out of the fish's mouth. "What is this?" Aunt Xia is worried that this fish should not be eaten. After seeing it, Xia Lili flushed it with water and said, "It's okay, Aunt Air. It's probably because the fish accidentally swallowed something like a stone. It's okay if it's not a bug or something, Lily. You can go into the house first, as long as there's me and your mother here." Aunt Xia waved her hand and asked Lily to go to the east room to prepare for dinner. In no time, the aroma of stewed carp in sauce drifted into the room, it was so fragrant. It will take a while for dinner, and Xia Lili began to ponder when to go to the county town. Now that the reform and opening up have been carried out, although the county town has not been fully opened up, the individual economy has increased compared to before. She also needs to find ways to exchange astragalus for money. Thinking about going to the county, Xia Lili rubbed the little black ball. Black Province stewed fish sometimes add some chili to remove the fishy smell, and the spicy taste makes the summer carp sneeze. After rubbing her nose, Xia Lili noticed a scent in her hand, not of stewed fish, but of milk. Xia Li carefully sniffed the beads in her hand. It's not a stone, it's a wooden bead. Indian old sandalwood, submerged in water. Wow, she can't even believe there's such a thing in the fish's mouth. This bead has a diameter of about 2 centimeters, and it is estimated to be several thousand larger in future generations. This is a sunken water bead. As the name suggests, a sunken water bead will sink to the bottom when placed in water. This can only be achieved by aged and high-quality old sandalwood. Moreover, due to restrictions on the export of old sandalwood in later fading countries, money may not be able to buy such large and good sunken water beads. Unfortunately, there is only one. If it could be strung together, it would be worth a lot of money. Xia Lili thinks that next time she enters the mountain, she will give Xiao Bai a complete set of horse-killing chickens. She is really a lucky wolf and dog. Lucky wolf. Dog. Yawning, the food is almost done. Aunt Xia brings the dishes Wotu and Kanji and asks everyone to have dinner. You old Xia family still have leisure time to eat. A sharp female voice came into the room, and a family of 3 came outside the door. Xia Li looked at it and realized that it was an old acquaintance. Chapter 10. Touching Porcelain. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. It was the Du-Zidong family who came. Wang Fengyun looked up and down at the Xia carp with a pair of hanging eyes, his eyes full of disdain. Wang Fengyun's husband, Du Guohua, said in a slutty voice, "Why don't you dare to come out of the old Xia family? Beat my son and hide at home as a bastard." Wang Fengyun simply sat on the ground and shouted loudly, "Xia, look at what your family has done, my poor son." The neighbors around stopped eating and came out to watch the excitement, with more and more people gathering. Wang Fengyun pulled her precious son and shouted at the top of her throat, "Everyone, quickly comment and judge. Look at how my child has been beaten by the 3 little bastards of the Xia family, and whether there is any justice left." Wang Fengyun pulled open Du-Zidong's pants, revealing 2 halves of his buttocks, blue and purple. People around started whispering. TSK, Du-Zidong was beaten quite badly. That's right, they're all children. How could they hit someone? It's too much. Apologizing without apologizing is not over. Let's take a look first. How dare the Xia family offend the old Du family? Du-Zidong's father is the nephew and son.in.law of the old secretary. In other words, the old secretary is Wang Fengyun's uncle, who is a person of status. Xia Lili walked quickly to the courtyard and saw a group of people gathered nearby. Wang Fengyun saw someone coming out and immediately cursed, "You shameless thing that dares to hit my son, get out of here." Yoha, Xia Lili was in the clothing business and service industry in her previous life. No matter how much anger she endured, it didn't mean she didn't know how to curse, nor did it mean she didn't know how to take action. She cleared her throat and said, "Aunt Wang, right. They say you are the first productive force in our village, but I don't believe it yet. Now I understand. You don't even need to fertilize the crops if you stick your mouth in the ground. Why, her mouth stinks, and everyone around her is happy." Wang Fengyun is a famous mischievous woman in the whole village, who has never been scolded by her. Considering her status as an official, she dares to be angry and not speak up. Today, a little girl silently scolded me. I'm sure I won't be able to save face. There's a good show to watch. Wang Fengyun didn't react, and once he understood, he had to go up and fight. Pulling hair, slapping, and peeling clothes are her usual 3-piece set. Xia Lili didn't give her a chance. As she approached and dodged, she reached out and tripped her dog, nibbling on the mud. She continued, I respect you for calling me your uncle and aunt, but you don't do anything. When you enter, you pour feces. My grandfather and Mr. Du are brothers. Your younger generation scolds your elders, and your whole family will perish. As soon as I heard around, it was true that the relationship between the Xia and Du families was good when they were young. If Du was still alive and saw the Xia family, he would politely call out Xia ergu. It's really wrong for Wang Fengyun and his wife to curse the whole family indiscriminately. Du Guohua looked at his mother-in-law with displeasure and grabbed her, shouting at Xia Lili. You hit my son, your family must give an explanation, otherwise we'll just wait to squat on the fence. Upon hearing the news of squatting on the fence, both Xia's father and Xia Yud, who had just come out, were frightened. The old Du family knew people from the police station, and if they really sued the officials, what would they do? Aunt Xia was trembling in her heart, wondering why these children had caused such a big disaster. Xia Mengmeng and Xia Junjun wanted to find their sister, but were tightly grabbed by Aunt Xia. Du Guohua was proud and said, if you don't want to cause trouble, you can do it. If you hit my son, you'll lose money, 10 yuan. Otherwise, you'll have to wait. After making a fuss for a while, Xia Lili sneered, why, who hasn't been bullied by your son in the village? The police station is run by your old Du family. You are extorting. You should squat on the fence. This old Du family is too poisonous. Our little chubby guy was even beaten by his little kid. Why, does he still want to go from house to house and ask for money? Not really. It's obvious that they're here to extort money. Bah, they're an unscrupulous family. What kind of thing, having a branch secretary as a relative is amazing, and Israel has gone up to heaven. Do you really think the police station belongs to their old Du family? You're shameless. Du Guohua was blinded for a moment. He was really not afraid of the dead girl who didn't come here first, and he didn't run the police station. If it really caused trouble, he probably wouldn't be able to eat and would have to walk around. More and more people scolded them, and his face turned black. He grabbed Wang Fengyun and Du Zideng and was about to leave. Xia Lili stopped him and said, you hit the door, slap your butt and want to leave. Apologize to my family, otherwise I will definitely go to the police station to seek an explanation. Dad Xia originally wanted to say forget it, but his old heart couldn't bear it. Du Guohua saw that Xia Lili was about to take it seriously, so he reached out and slapped himself. He smiled and said, it's all a misunderstanding. Don't worry, Mr. Xia. He held his breath and hammered Du Zideng hard. Wow, I dare not dare again. Du Zideng's tears and nose flowed together. Dead girl, if I had known this, my dead girl shouldn't have. Wang Fengyun was still muttering, being dragged away by Du Guohua like a dead dog. Seeing the lively scene end, Xia Lili quickly thanked the melon-eating crowd. She lifted her eyes and shed 2 lines of clear tears. She said passionately, thanks to all the villagers who spoke up, otherwise our family wouldn't have been bullied. I bow to all the villagers. The onlookers who spoke out with righteousness expressed great satisfaction, adding fuel and vinegar to the story and spreading it everywhere. So much so that the image of the honest person of the old Xia family deeply ingrained in people's hearts, the Du family and the village branch secretary's reputation were murdered, which is another matter. Afterwards, Xia Lili seemed to have nothing to do and prepared to wash his hands and eat. Xia Yud stopped her and said, Lili, you scared people. How could you have a conflict with them? We can't do this next time. What if I really squat on the fence? After a moment of silence, Xia Lili said, Dad, we just want them to know that our family is not easy to deal with. Bullying our old Xia family will come at a cost. Xia Yud remained silent, his daughter's words made sense. He was really ashamed that he didn't come out to protect his daughter in the first place and let her deal with this family of 3 alone. Dad Xia has finally understood. Those who are poor are afraid of being horizontal, while those who are horizontal are afraid of not risking their lives. At critical moments, they must be brave enough, otherwise they will be stepped on and defecated. He coughed and said, I've seen it all. From now on, anyone who dares to bully our family will do it. Don't be a coward. Old Xia's family has no cowards, don't even be inferior to children. The two brothers of the Xia family understood and understood. The tense atmosphere passed, and Li Huaihua served a stewed and fragrant big carp, and the family began to eat. The Du family is not so harmonious anymore. When Du Ziqing returned from the village branch secretary's uncle, he was waiting to hear the jokes of the Xia Lili family. Unexpectedly, her father and mother came back with a disheveled face. She dared not touch the mold and went carefully to serve the meal. Before he could even walk to the kitchen, Wang Fengyun poked his finger and said, You stubborn girl who eats inside and outside. Give such a good thing to outsiders and let her bully your mother. Bah! Du Ziqing felt disdainful in his heart, but it was just a vegetable cake. What a good thing, it must have been the whistleblower of that dead kid Du Ziting. She dared not show it, gritted her teeth, and said with a smile, Dad, Mom, I was wrong. Wang Fengyun continued to criticize for a while.